are the main topics that we will discuss during this panel this morning. First of all, obviously, the first and the most important is the state of the industry. And I think we should always think about our future. We need to plan our future. What is our vision for the future? Where we want to go, where we should go, and where we risk to go. And you see how many challenges, all of you here, I think also in the room, there are many experts and many people who know very well our sector. You see how many challenges are in front of us. And I think one of the topics I would like to discuss with you this morning is about what's happening in the sector, how you see the future of our sector. And the second, I know that is here in particular in this region, in particular Gione is an important one, is taxation. In preparing my today moderation, I was reading the situation. I realized that it's really tough to operate here. And the level of taxation and the complexity, I think, is something that is quite important, and maybe we will go through this. There are other 2 points that I would like to discuss during our panel. The first, the development of broadband in the region, and the fiber. Here will be very difficult in some countries to invest in fiber. It's quite challenging, and I would ask you how you see that. And another point which is very popular today in Europe is about consolidation. Whether you think the sector needs scale, and whether you think the sector is too fragmented, and whether you think this kind of discussion will be also in the
ETNO gatherings where we used to have a lot of debates. Turkey was a member of this union of operators, and obviously it was European dominated. All the operators were both fixed and mobile, and you would think that their challenges would be a little bit less than, let's say, the challenge that Umniah faces, for example, just giving an example of someone that is a late entrant to the market competing with a very strong established operator like Zain, which is quite an interesting dynamics for the market. We see basically in the telecom sector that maybe in a nutshell I could say that you're either buying somebody or someone's going to buy you out. I think maybe that's an interesting way of looking at it. Probably it's a bit brutal, but frankly, I think that's the way it's got to be. I'm going to be very contrarian today, so I'll be the person that's challenging from the panelists. I think if you see the world that way, it makes it easier for you to decide your next steps. It is a bit brutal, but by the way, this can even apply to very large companies. I'm not talking about small companies. Very large companies are also considering the possibility of them being acquired. I mean, some of them are very large, and their name, would maybe. I don't want to give names actually, because some of you will be shocked to know that a company as large as one of the largest in the world can be acquired, and that's what they're thinking. It may happen. They have to prepare for that. So I'm not at all talking about small companies here, but that's the reality of this sector. This sector will only be able to produce the next wave of success through consolidation, which means acquisitions. And it means the hard business of merging networks together to lower costs. Service revenues are under serious distress in the sense that if you put an asymptotic plot of where your service revenues are going to go, the reality is that you have to assume that there is no voice, for example. I mean, and we can see that that is a fact today. And one question I would give for people, because I will stop now quickly because we are supposed to speak very little now and we will come back later, is, for example, that how come all these big acquisitions that we have seen, like Skype got acquired twice, the last was Microsoft, and well, at least twice, and now we hear about WhatsApp being acquired by Facebook for a huge sum of money, and these numbers are between 10 and 20 billion. How come not a single telecom operator considered to make such an acquisition, let's say on WhatsApp? Okay, just an example question to you. I'm not saying that any operator should have done it, but that is also showing you an indication that the people who are moving into message, voice, of course they can't provide data service, But operators are making it very easy for them because all they're doing is lowering their costs, and they are becoming pipes at very low service charge.
Maybe we can start. We have this system which allow all of you to express your view. And we have one question on the issue of consolidation. Maybe it would be very interesting to have now your view, and I don't know whether we can start the question number one. Will consolidation be positive or negative for the sector? And you can answer positive, more investment and revenue generating, or you can answer negative, less competition, higher price. So you can push, let me know if I'm right, button 1 or button 2. In order to give an answer, I'm very interested to understand how you will react to this, because on consolidation, there is a lot of discussion in Europe, and the issue is seen in a different way. Someone is saying that consolidation will bring benefit because will increase competition, because will be a competition more sustainable. And you see what's happening in the US. I recently participated in a presentation of the chairman of SoftBank in Washington, and he was saying if you allow to consolidate in US, we will have a stronger competition if you allow us to pass from four operator to 3 in the US. On the other hand, there is the fear of some regulators and competition authority that this could bring less competition and the prices could go up. We see here is impressive, the result. And I would, maybe you can, I don't know if you want also to comment. And now I pass immediately the floor to Yousef Mutawe, as CTO of Zain Jordan. And I ask you to make a short introduction, and then we will have the possibility to discuss further.
Well, very good morning, everybody. I do believe as well consolidation on the operator sides is not going to happen. We didn't see too many examples in consolidation when it comes to operators. I do believe consolidation is happening at vendor side, where IT sector is coming more converged and more services became more tied together. And we have many examples now in the market where the platforms providers, the hardware providers went to be a database providers. The same way the ones who were just working on the database went to be analytical providers as well. So I do believe the market in terms of retailers is not going to converge the way that have been presented and being voted for. We are not going to see 92% of the operators, let us say, converged into or being consolidated in terms of business and operations. But we are going to see more IT vendors and telecom vendors converged in the coming 5 years in order to meet the convergence happening in the sector. This is right now happening with, let us take HP and IBM, let us take 3Bar, let us take SAP and the analytical small company that have been acquired by SAP. We have too many examples when it comes to IBM and the big vendors who were just specialized in certain direction, whether hardware and software, being now diverged into different businesses by acquiring small companies. So I do believe from a total umbrella, a global umbrella, we are going to see more small companies to diminish and to have larger player to acquire those. In the local market, if we want to go just to have to shed little light on the different scenes. Let us take Jordan. In the consumer sides, we have moved the consumer just from just a voice user into an integrated user. This just happened in the past 5 years. This wasn't before.
Actually, the way, I think the way to go for the future is with consolidation. The Middle East, telecom and ICT sector market is still a potential sector. Due to the recorded growth in the region, I mean, due to certain points. One of them is the liberation of the market. Second is the competition of the market. And third is the dynamic demographics of the region. We always, the traditional way of the region was it's an oil-based economy. But now we're turning into technological, and we're turning into technology and knowledge-based society to keep up with the pace of the technological advancement in the world. We all know that voice is losing the momentum, and it's being replaced by the OTT or killed by the OTT services. And the logical way to go there to compete against or to grow the revenues continue is by mergers and acquisitions, such as between fixed and mobile, between the telecom and the media sectors. Lately, we've been seeing acquisitions such as between AT&T and DirecTV, Comsat and Time Warner, and others. To be able to fill up the pipe, content is important, and that happens through the consolidation. There's also a lot of challenges facing the telecom market, and at the same time, it's a potential. It's a potential growth in the telecom market, such as there's a huge demand on the connectivity and speed. That requires from the telecom to improve, to get more advanced technological solutions. They need to improve their backhaul connectivity, improve the spectrum to be able to cope to the need of and demand of the users for this speed and connectivity. The telecom sector has to look into alternatives, also technologies and services, such as the cloud-based services. It's becoming a huge demand in the region, and there's a potential growth to it. And the telecom sector is the right player to be able to offer such services. Cloud-based services leverages the same services as the telecom operators with the data centers, the MPLS services, and other services.
Luigi, good morning, everyone, and thanks to Arab advisors. To be honest with you, looking at the topics that were mentioned in the agenda, what we need to discuss, and I think each one of it needs a full session, be it on consolidation itself, be it on taxation, especially in Jordan, and I just quote unquote, and I wish to see some ministers, be it from the finance or the ICT, attending and listening to what my colleagues and whoever in the coming couple of days will be talking. Not to mention the scene of the sector, what happened in the past 2 years and what's coming in the coming 5 years. And this is actually, it's a lot of changes in the total scene of the telecom sector. Not to mention what the OTT are doing and what's happening to the traditional revenue that we are facing as a telecom sector. I just want to, in the couple 2-3 minutes, at least at the beginning, to shed some light on the consolidation from telecom part, rather than the convergence, as some of my colleagues have mentioned, between the IT or the third players to converge with the telecom. I will put this aside, but talking about the telecom consolidation and why now the telecom companies' potential consolidation, which happened already in Europe and the States in the past, and it's coming to the region, it doesn't come from nowhere. The main answer for that there are no more organic growth in the revenues of the telecom sector. This is the main thing. When you reach a point of plateauing on your growth, investors, shareholders, they will start looking on a different way of maintaining that return on investment. And this is where the consolidation started. So consolidation was, it's not the root cause, it's the symptom of what's going on, at least in the region. And I would say, in my personal opinion, in the coming 3 to 5 years, we will see a major acquisition mergers between the companies and the groups in the region, on the Middle East and the GCC. The reason for that, why the revenue is going, I just want to share with you some numbers, statistics that our colleagues from Cisco, they have created a study, and another one actually done by A.D. Little and some other consultants in the region. The main topic is the explosion of data. This is the main thing that happened in the past. Revenues is going down, as everybody knows. And by the way, 2013 was worse than 2012. This is a major thing. that the telecom sector are facing. And the pressure that the companies are facing is more capex needed. So if you look at from a finance point of view, and I have some faces from financial departments in the companies, the ratios between capex to revenue is changing dramatically. So the finance people will be looking at those ratios and the return on investment in a totally different manner, and totally different way. So revenue is going down, capex is going up, and this is what they call it in Europe. This is the third wave of investment in the capex, and it will be at least a double-digit higher than the previous second wave or the first wave that happened. Let me share with you some points, and allow me to read it from some papers. I want to just mention some points on the data. Global mobile data traffic grew 81% in 2013, 81% only. It went up globally from 820 petabyte to 1.5 exabyte, which is 10 to the power of 18 of bytes. Last year alone, mobile data traffic was nearly 18 times than the entire global internet in the year 2000. Mobile video exceeded 50% of the total traffic for the first time in 2013. 500 million mobile devices were added in 2013, 500 million. Mobile network connection speed doubled in 2013 and went up from 526 or half meg to 1.4 meg. 4G, the LTE connection generates 14.5% more traffic on average than a non-4G connection. Average smartphone usage grew 50% in 2013 only. Smartphone represented 27% of the total handsets globally, and they represented 95% of the mobile traffic. And this is a very scary, because the number or the percentage of the smartphone is even growing at a faster pace because the price is going down, and thanks to our Chinese friends. Globally, there is 45% of total mobile data traffic was offloaded on the fixed network. And this is something, be it on a Wi-Fi, be it on femtocell, and this is something that if we take the offload off, so the growth of the data was 98, not 81%. In 2013, the number of mobile connected tablets increased 2.2 folds, reached around 100 million. And the tablets generates 2.6 times more traffic than the smartphone. 150 million laptops generates 4.6 times than the smartphone. So if you look at all these facts, for a telecom operators, this is a very threatening reality, because more pipes, more capex, and revenue will have not enough. It will not have incremental revenue as we speak to cover that giant jump. The way forward from 2014 to 2018, the number of mobile devices connected will exceed the population of the world in 2014. The monthly global mobile data traffic will exceed 15 exabytes in 2018. Tablets will exceed 15% of the global mobile data traffic in 2016. 4G traffic will be more than half of the total mobile traffic in 2018. And there will be more traffic offloaded to the fixed network or the Wi-Fi than it is on the network of the 4G and the 3G network. Global mobile data traffic will increase 11 folds between 13 and 18. And mobile data traffic will grow at a compounded annual growth rate of 61%. In 2014, okay, this is in 18, there will be nearly 1.4 mobile devices per capita. So we will be hitting more than 10 billion devices. The speed will double in 2018. It will go from 1.3 to 2.5 megabytes as a speed of that. 4G will represent 15%, and I think we covered that. In 2018, over half of all devices connected will be smart devices. In 18, mobile connected tablets will generate nearly double the traffic they generated in 2013. The Middle East and North Africa will represent the strongest mobile data growth at the region worldwide, which is on a 70% compounded average growth rate. So looking at that explosion of data, for the operators, it will definitely translated to more investments, more capex, and no revenues. And this is where the consolidation will be definitely on the table of the shareholders and the boardrooms of all the telecom groups, if not already started. Thank you.
First of all, I think we need to take a pause and assess what had happened in the year 2013 and the year of 2014 to the state of industry here in Jordan and its impact on the future plans as telecom operators.